What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here, and today's mission, I'm here to discuss the mystery and the possible origins of Roche in Final Fantasy VII Remake. For someone I thought would be a major player in the remake's first part, I felt myself wanting more of Roche on screen. His attitude and anime-style bike theatrics made him a unique but incredible character, but he was gone as quickly as he arrived. Keep in mind there will be spoilers for the game and the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake in this video. Special shout out to Roche's voice actor, Austin Lee Matthews. He did a phenomenal job as the voice of Roche, and I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description below. Also, special shout out to him for clarifying that it is actually pronounced Roche. Roche is such a compelling character, not for what he showed, but because of his potential. My feelings about the ending of the game were less than satisfactory, and the question was posed to me, if I was a writer on the game, what would I have done better, or what would I have done differently? My plans would have heavily involved Roche, and I'll also be talking about that later in the video. I do want to talk about his possible origins as a character and predict where the path with him may lead. Obviously these are just old concepts, so they won't follow the exact trajectory, but it is interesting information to know. In the Final Fantasy VII Ultimania Omega, there's a character profile for Yuffie Kisaragi. Originally, Yuffie was supposed to be a 25-year-old ex-soldier who became a bounty hunter going after Cloud and Sephiroth. She was supposedly chasing both across the planet and could be recruited after comm. She also had a bounty on her head, which was part of the mechanic for her starting stats when you acquired her. This could be the inspiration for Roche, who seems more like a bounty hunter, living by his own rules and chasing the party for his own excitement and gains. I have a feeling after part 1, he will leave Midgar and chase the party around the world. A landscape bike chase may be a battle we see in part 2, similar to the one from Advent Children. As you fight along the Sector 4 railway line, he begins to mock you with overdramatic speech and the bravado of a character who really doesn't care for the professional restraint of what you'd expect from a third-class soldier. He also appears to have a Negan and Lucille-style relationship with his bike, which adds another layer of depth to his character. Several times you see Roche touching his bike or even appear to be talking to it. It's almost like an extension of his being, a part of his character, and a second weapon all at the same time. It's no question, however, that as jovial and fun-loving as he is, he poses a real threat to the party. He loves the thrill of the challenge and the speed at which Cloud moves and attacks. Later on in the mission in the Shinra compound, when the party is surrounded and all hope appears lost, here comes Roche, making as grand an entrance as ever. Not a care in the world when it comes to his supposed co-workers, all in the name of speed, thrill, and the challenge Cloud poses in a one-on-one battle. After he's defeated, Cloud spares him, and he makes a few remarks that suggest he's going to return in due time. However, that never happens. I thought at least on the Broken Highway there would be some sort of reunion, but no. Roche never appears again after Chapter 4. Seems so odd, doesn't it? Building him up in trailers, creating this epic bike chase boss fight, then having him become an actual boss fight at the end of Chapter 4, and then he never shows up again. But this makes me think of the great potential that he has going forward. We have a character who borders the line of friend or foe, but really I think his allegiances lie only with himself and his own goals, whatever those may be. It's also interesting to note that out of all the enemies we have in the game from the soldier ranks, he's the only named soldier operative and he's only a third class. His job in part 1 was merely only the beginning, and I want to get into what that means going forward. I think what also makes him so great is that mystery. He's unpredictable because you just don't know if he's friend or foe. If he had bested Cloud, would he have finished him off, or would the thrill of an opponent that could grow to rival him be the ultimate reward? There's also the fact that he heals Cloud at the very beginning of your battle with him, so he obviously has some morals in combat. I guess we'll never know, but now let's get into the theory about how Roche could remain a strong and reoccurring character. He's only third class, but he doesn't have to stay that way. He's a named soldier character, and most of the named soldiers have historically been first class. This makes me think that after this battle with Cloud, he went back to Shinra HQ where he received first class enhancements from Hojo. This would cause him to progress alongside Cloud, and as Cloud grows, so too does Roche. If they can keep that type of progression going for his character, then they could make him a rival for Cloud throughout the remake series. It's also possible that he becomes an ally down the road. After Roche is defeated, he tells Cloud he'll see him on the road and try not to die before they meet again. He then makes just as grand of an exit as he did his entrance and is never seen again. But this isn't how I would have left his involvement in the story. One of the biggest problems I had with the ending was that after you defeat Fate and defeat Sephiroth, what power scaling will the next parts have? How will you make Cloud, who just defeated basically Fate and a god himself, not feel weaker than he does right now and still make standard enemies a challenge? Cloud at the end of part 1 looks like Cloud from Advent Children, at least when it comes to skill and power. You already had a boss fight worthy of the end of any JRPG, and that's just part 1. I worry that the feeling of progression will suffer due to this, and that's why I think Roche would have made the better final boss fight. His theme of speed and excitement would have fit the escape from Midgar as you battle it out on the Broken Highway. Now don't get me wrong, I really loved the fights themselves, but they came so far out of left field that they felt forced for shock factor. Whatever you want to call it, meta or symbolism, these are things that just weren't needed. They can make changes and not need fate or alternate timelines to make them. I feel a better ending would have been to have Roche parked at the end of the broken highway, soldier first class enhancements at the ready, and maybe even a new signature sword. Cloud and party would have to take on this new and improved Roche, and he would have been more powerful than ever. This would be the party's last stand in Midgar, Roche the only thing stopping them from escaping, and on the road to settling the score with Sephiroth. But that's just one fan out of a million's opinion, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. There's also another theory I've been rolling around in my head. Is it possible Roche is a mole for a third party, maybe even Avalanche Command? In the game, it feels like Roche is testing Cloud, almost to see if he's up to snuff. He also comes in when it appears that the party is surrounded by Shinra troops. The two bike officers back up when he gets there on the railway, and once defeated, he disappears. And then in the facility itself, he stops the ambush after making a grand entrance and challenges Cloud to a one-on-one. Then when defeated, Shinra ambushes them with sweepers. Roche quickly destroys several of the sweepers, saving the group. Shortly after, Roche leaves, and Avalanche Control sends a unit into the exact facility they're working in. Seems oddly convenient, but again, an unlikely theory. Overall, I love Roche and the potential he has as an ongoing character. His fine line between villain and friend only intrigues me more, and I can't wait to see what he's capable of in Part 2. To make him continue to stay relevant, some power leveling will have to occur for him, and first class enhancements seem the way to go about it. So what do you think, soldiers? Do you see Roche becoming a major villain, or could he become a powerful ally? Before I go, I'd love to give a big shout out to my new patrons Icarus13, Final Fantasy Blog, and Elaine Chauvin. Thanks for making my dreams of becoming a full-time content creator that much closer to reality, and congratulations on your promotion to Soldier First Class. Big shout out to Icarus, FF Blog, and Elaine, and the rest of the ranks of Soldier. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to omni-slash that like button. Let me know in the comments section below how you see Roche being used in future parts, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to join the ranks of Soldier today. And for all the latest Final Fantasy VII Remake, news, rumors, and trailers, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later, guys.